So we're just gonna all act like this isn't a Whitney Houston, Nippy, Robyn, unauthorized the early years biopic? Okay. Okay. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Beauty. Now this is a new film available on Netflix and it stars Niecy Nash and Giancarlo Esposito. Now before I get into all things Robyn and Whitney, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that and then we're going to come back and discuss. I mean, they just really just threw all of this together like it was all okay. Like, how are y'all gonna do some unauthorized ass shit like this? Y'all literally took that lady's story and just put it here like it was something new. Like, you can't like put salt in my cake and tell me it's sugar. That's Whitney and that's Robyn. That's Sissy, the brothers, Lil Bobby, all of them was here.
Go back.
Have hopefully subscribed to see more of me. Let's get into this movie. Now this movie was directed by Andre Dosunmu. I'm probably saying that wrong but he is a very prolific music video director and he is very present as far as independent African-esque films are concerned. But most of all, this movie was produced by Miss Lena Waithe. Now she is an actor as well as a director, but I think she's most notably known as a writer and producer. We have gotten shows like The Shy from her, 20s, films like Queen and Slim, and she is very active as far as the LGBTQ community is concerned. She is a lesbian and she is married to a woman. Not too long ago, she had a sit-down interview with Robyn Crawford before she released her memoirs, I believe, and she spoke on her life and her relationship with Whitney Houston. And that's why I feel like we really got this film was because maybe they touched on some things and she saw something in their story and saw an opportunity for representation. But the problem is with that is that, you know, we have these, not saying we don't want Robyn to get her shine, but we have had countless movies released, documentaries as far as Whitney Houston is concerned. And it's just something about someone else telling somebody's story, you know, once they've passed. You know, it seems like once we have an artist, you know, with the caliber of a Whitney Houston pass away, there's always a gang of people ready to come forward and share their information, share their stories, and we get all of these movies. And these people are not here to tell their truths. Now, what we can say for those not so great movies that we've gotten, at least they were saying what they were. This is a Whitney Houston biopic. This is Whitney, this is Bobby, this is Robyn, this is Sissy, this is whomever. This film right here, we have this clear depiction of a young Whitney Houston's life, but it's not Whitney and it's not Robyn. It's Beauty and it's Jasmine. Now immediately we get into very familiar territory if you are a Whitney Houston fan, and it's not like they're telling us anything that we don't already know, but it is a bit different here because this is just as much Whitney Houston's story as it is Robyn Crawford's. The lead here very much so resembles Robyn as far as the complexion, the lighter eyes, the hair, the bone structure, very strong resemblance. Now when we get into our Whitney Houston Nippy-esque look-alike, not so much. I didn't really get a strong resemblance as much as I got for Robyn, but I did appreciate that they just gave her the name Beauty because everybody knows just how beautiful Whitney Houston was, especially when she first came out and she started singing, you know, those early years, starting off as a model. She was so pretty, like gorgeous. Not to say that the actress here isn't beautiful in her own right, but Whitney Houston, absolutely not. Now, in watching this movie, you can't honestly give it a natural, genuine watch, because we have these people here and we know who they're based on, but they don't have rights, you know, to the story, maybe permission for the family, any rights to any music, and you don't really know what's true and what's not. So you can't completely give it a nice, free-flowing, organic watch, because you know it's based on someone who's no longer here and doesn't have a say-so in the film or its execution, especially with this movie being totally surrounded by Whitney Houston. And she was such a private person when it came to her personal life, especially the aspect of Robyn and whatever they were to each other. She never denied or really confirmed too much of anything. It's just kind of like we always knew what it was, or kind of felt like we knew what it was, but we never got the gist from her, and she didn't feel the need to explain it. And certain things she just kept private into herself. So a bit of watching this just kind of feels like, you know, personal, and it just feels like she's kind of being exposed and she's not here to say poo about it. And it's sad because immediately shit is just hitting really close to home. You know, you have her chilling in the room with Robyn, the brother coming in, you know, like, give me that joint, let me hit it. Why you gotta do everything like me? Why you gotta smoke? Because I'm stressed, I need to relieve some tension, like I'm smoking. Why you have to be like me? Like, why y'all have to be like this? It's just like, at somebody, put a name to this. Give us all the, you know, like why are we playing this game? We do know, we've seen so many docs and so many interviews with Whitney's brother admitting, you know, hey, it was me. I started her off, you know, with the drugs. She, you know, the crack. It's just like, this whole film is like saying things without saying things. Don't say that. It's so unfortunate that this had to go the unauthorized route, because in watching this, you can really tell, especially how stuff happened afterwards, as far as Whitney Houston's life, you know, things that she said physically out of her mouth, the way that her family is perceived and how they've acted towards her. A lot of this shit probably happened. We have Beauty growing up with all this pressure, all these restraints in this religious household. She has this overbearing mommy, aka sissy, who constantly makes her practice all these vocal lessons, putting her up on a pedestal, perfecting her craft, her talent, all while applying all of this mental and physical ass pressure. When in actuality, you have this underlining of this rivalry with your own daughter because she may be better than you, and you're jealous and all competitive. Was this you, sissy? This is what was happening? Didn't we always feel like this is what was happening? And the same can be said when we get into the father character here. He is really obsessive about her getting a deal. He feels like she's ready. He wants her to go far. He's really focused on her getting into the industry, meeting with execs, all while we have sissies sitting around ready to compete like they're on the same level and they're running for fucking prom queen. Like, oh, poor Beauty. Both of the parents want sole control over Beauty's life, mainly the father concerning her career, but she has no control over anything, and you can see that this frustrates her. They have all of these high expectations for her future, what she's gonna be, what she isn't gonna be. They agree on a lot of things, some shit that they don't. Like, it's just a whole hot ass mess and a lot of pressure on her to be somebody, be that star. Meanwhile, they have zero expectations for their two sons and literally act like they only have one kid. This creates, you know, bitterness, sibling rivalry, jealousy. Not an uncomfortable situation for Beauty. But she forever has one person in her corner with her best interest at heart, and that is Jasmine. When I tell you I was having the hardest time not saying Nippy and Robyn and Sissy, because I'm like, I know who the hell these people are. Now, Jasmine has a very strong hold in the house. She is very present and she is very supportive as far as Beauty is concerned. And this creates a lot of, you know, negativity and resentment and, you know, just some uncomfortable tension in the household as far as some of the family members are concerned. But you can tell right off the bat that it's supposed to be, you know, some secret love happening, but for the most part, her family knows what's going on, and it's just kind of gone unspoken. Do what you do, it just can't leave this household, and eventually when you go on and you're famous and you're big, this isn't going to be accepted. Like, it's just really, really unspoken. But that isn't the sole reason why the family has a problem with Jasmine. She is very much opinionated. She just has her best interest there. You know, don't be so trusting. Maybe you should, you know, invest in these things. Look over this. Revamp that contract. Read into things. Don't be so trusting with everybody just because they are your family and you're expecting them to put you first. Jasmine is literally the only one who has real love for Beauty and isn't trying to use or manipulate her for some type of gain. She is the only one in her corner to be her support, to be her confidant, her lover, her friend, and it's a beautiful thing. And it also saddens you a little bit because she kind of has this really grand protection over her, and we always had that gut feeling that if she was able to live out her truths and love who she wanted to, that her life may have been different. You know, Beauty's life would have been different. Now also, when we get into the performances and the way that the film is going, this movie is literally carried by Niecy Nash, giving us all that good stage mom, sissy, church realness. Niecy Nash was doing an awesome job as far as her delivery. She was really, you know, emoting. And then we get into Bugging Out. Bugging Out is going to always bring it every single role. He is very good, especially later in life as far as his roles, at giving us that sinister ass energy. And he immediately makes you despise him as a father right away. And you really feel like out of everybody, he just is the least bit interested in just being a father and to her as a daughter. Like, he just feels like he's righteous. You owe me this. Her moment is very much so his moment. The same can kind of be said for the mommy character, but it's more of a protection mode also. Not only do I have this competitive nature with you, because maybe Sissy did want to make it quite far, but we all know that she did end up wonderful singer, but she did a lot of background work, and we had Whitney Houston go on and be just the GOAT. So just to have kind of that resentment on her part of, you know, well, she can't sing better than me. Like, girl, goddamn, she ain't better than me yet. What about me? What about you, David Ruffin? Ain't nobody coming to see you. We came to see Whitney. But, you know, it's not just that. She has that inner conflict with her daughter, but it's also, you know, you're not ready. As we can see, she is a bit naive. She is really sheltered. She's been really coddled by her family. We don't want to throw you to the wolves. The industry can be a really sad and sick place. And we get into our arrogant Beauty character who is, you know, I can do it. I'm fine and I'm going to be all right. Like, you like, oh, girl, you not. But when we get into everybody's portrayal and what they were doing, Niecy Nash, awesome. And we got Bugging, fucking awesome. Even the actress portraying Robyn Jasmine, awesome. And then we get into our main focus, which is Beauty. I looked her up. The actress here doesn't have a whole lot of credits to her name, and I'm sorry, it shows. A lot of stuff here as far as her acting, there wasn't enough emoting for me. It was very stoic, really wooden as far as her acting, and it really paled in comparison to some greats on the screen like fucking Bugging Out and Niecy Nash. They were really delivering and carrying this movie when we were supposed to be mainly focusing on Beauty. Beauty needed a few more classes, a few more. Mommy, are you happy for me? Daddy, I don't want to sign the contract. I want to have my lawyer look over it. I want to do my own thing. Robyn, I love you. Like, it got real arigato, Mr. Roboto. It was just very wooden. I really wish that she could have delivered and emoted a little bit more. Now, this movie can also feel really empty and slow paced at sometimes, and you're not quite sure where it's going or what time we're going to get there. This movie is only an hour and a half, and we do spend majority of that time in her childhood home in preparation of her signing a contract and going on and going far to become a star. About 20 minutes into the film, we have had so many beauty. Her voice is astounding. She's giving Whitney Houston. This is Whitney's story. There is so much admiration for her voice and how she sounds and how gorgeous it is. We don't hear it. We never actually hear Beauty sing one note. I thought that was the weirdest shit in the world, even if we did not have the rights to any music. But it's like, we don't need any rights. We're already pretending and renaming these characters to be something else. She could have fucking sung anything. No notes, no bars are spit in this whole damn film. I swear I spent like, Pootie don't need no words, Pootie don't need no words, Pootie don't even need no music. Like, what is happening? I spent way too much in this time in this film waiting to hear a fucking note that never came. I was like, well, you know, that was choices. Now, after we spent a lot of time establishing, you know, a toxic, distant family dynamic, they goddamn bugging out, saying, you know, bitch, don't make me slap you in front of this white woman. I was like, oh, damn. He is just all about that contract getting signed, and then we have the boys having, the brothers having their little sibling rivalry. There's just so much negativity in the household, and it's just like, damn, if this is what it was, she ain't stand a chance. Like, there's a sense of everybody having their claws in her in some way. We also have Sharon Stone here giving us her best Clive Davis impersonation, you know, prepping her for the industry to sign that contract, you know, pretty much changing her, you know, to give her that appeal, but low-key changing her to get her into that pop world and mask who she really is, her affections, her hair, her humor, just change her just for the worse. We know how it goes. You just can't be in the industry and be yourself. And we also have Sissy, mommy, there to remind her, you know, just try to give her some stepping stones. And it was really surprising to see the Beauty character be so arrogant and give so much pushback, but you could tell that it was a result of, you know, all these people trying to tell her what to do. It's just like, let me have control over something. Quit trying to tell me how to run my life, what it's gonna be, just because it was like that for you. Like, yeah, bitch, because the only friend you have is Jesus. I was like, oh, damn. So much negative tension, and it's just like, damn, we really wish that we could have had the mommy character give and steer her in the right direction properly and not have that competitive ass energy, because it just feels like we could have had a better outcome. But you were too busy trying to be a stage mom and have vocal lesson boot camp. Damn. We also spent a whole lot of time focusing on these beauty shots in the film as far as Beauty is concerned, and the music that she's listening to via records or watching this television. I was like, come on, baby, we have an hour and a half. We do focus on the people that she loved, you know, Mahalia Jackson, Ella Fitzgerald, the Clark sisters, Donna Summers. You know, we get all of those nippy-like cues, but I was like, all right, now, that's enough with the concert. Get back to the story. There wasn't a whole lot here. A lot of the film is set up to build Jasmine's character up as that confidant for Beauty, but I didn't really feel like they did a really great job on it. Their moments are pretty thin and really shallow, and I wish that they had went a bit deeper. And it wasn't until I got maybe past the 30-minute mark in the film that I realized that we haven't seen them kiss or have any type of physical interaction. It's just like, okay, well, damn, what's going on here? Whitney couldn't really publicly have her in life. She can't have her here in this film either. We do not have them show any, you know, physical affection besides, you know, innocent, you know, nosies and maybe holding hands and looking into each other's eyes, but we don't see them physically interact at all until the very, like, 5 minutes left mark in the film, we have them share a light kiss. I thought that was a choice also. The only tension that the movie has to offer is on the father's part. Not only do they set him up to kind of be hypocritical, he's a cheater, he has a wandering eye, they have a toxic relationship, and he is clearly trying to use his daughter. When we have him get so upset because we have Jasmine suggest that she has somebody look over the contract and not be so trusting, and she doesn't want to sign right away, and he says like, girl, sign this shit or I'm throwing your ass the fuck out, you're not fucking this up for me. It was like, damn, like it would have just been so much better to know what was true and what was false and how in depth these scenes really went, because it's just like, and it's not even, you know, plausible to be deniable, because we do know in the end he did sue her, like, and then we have him, everything just really turn a whole full circle, and you're like, what? We have him pretty much plot to kill Jasmine, Robyn? Did that happen? We have him try to have his sons, them having that competitive ass nature that they have, and that resentment that they not only have for Jasmine but for Beauty at the same time, because they haven't been granted to give that much attention, and he's kind of playing them all against each other. We have one brother, he just like, I don't give a damn about that shit, my sister can love who she wants to love, and he actually sees their relationship as a good thing. But then we have the other brother who has something to prove and wants to save her, and they actually go and plot to take care of her, get rid of her. What the hell was that? I was like, did this actually happen? But in the end, we have her physically hurt, and from the looks of it, assaulted. We don't know how far that actually went by some random man who was, you know, kind of selling weed to the girls or selling weed to weed. I was like, what? Is this what happened? Y'all was really gonna take Robyn out? I just want some answers. Tender love. I know like majority of this movie's budget went to the music, because they had a plethora of songs, and I was having a good time on that part, even though I wanted to be more, you know, compacted in the film. Like, we just gonna look at these TVs and we just gonna listen to songs. Okay. Once we have this incident happen with Jasmine and she's assaulted, we do see some distance try to form between the two, mostly on Jasmine's part, because you see that she is looking at the situation in a realistic light, and it's just like, I know what this is, I will always have love for you, but I can't go with you, we can't be out, we can't be in the world. And you from early on, even at that young age, see that Beauty is very much so prepared to try to have her cake and eat it too, and just have everything both ways. Why can't I live my life? She is just pretty much prepared to be a singer. I just want to be a singer. Why can't my life be private? Why do I have to do these things when you can tell that everyone else around her knows what it is and sees the gist of it? And you really see that she has no idea what she is walking to and what this life is going to do to her. When we get all the way like towards the ending, the movie was just it did not have a very cohesive flow to it, because it's just like, why are we here? We only have this amount of time left in the film. We should be here already, but whatever. We have her career finally try to begin, and she gets signed, and you have them be able to have their own space. Her and Jasmine get their own apartment, and this is when you slowly start to see things change within her, not only with the industry but in her personality and what she's been to Jasmine this whole time. This whole time Jasmine has just been trying to back away, walk away, but she's made it very adamant that she wants to be in a relationship with her and she needs her. She has low-key been the chaser. When we have things begin to change for her and she pretty much starts to not be herself, I was like, damn, they really finna put in the film that we all know Whitney couldn't dance. Like, oh no, she can't dance. You know, you trying to appeal to this certain demographic, this certain audience. This is how you need to wear your hair. This is what you need to dress like. And most of all, you cannot put any sauce on the fact that you might not be interested in anything other than men. You have to keep Jasmine in the closet in every sense and way of the word. Y'all can do whatever the fuck you want to do behind closed doors, but any moment that you are out in public, this is strictly your friend, and she can't even tell her she's beautiful. And it's just, you just feel like you can tell that Robyn Robyn is setting herself up for failure and what this is going to turn out for her. Especially when we have the makeshift fucking Bobby Brown show up at the door. I was like, what? Really? This is when we have the story begin to take all kind of liberties. It's like we're flowing and we're not. We just can't tell what's true and what's not, because from my understanding, Whitney and Bobby's first real encounter was, you know, when she saw him at that award show and she thought he was fine and he was all my prerogative. I thought that's how that went down and it progressed from there. But no, here, Sammy, whatever the fuck, Bobby is her freaking neighbor, and you can slowly see, you know, he's not engaging with her. She is jumping the gun to engage, you know. Oh, I look like a little girl. It's just because you ain't never seen me with my clothes off. Like, oh, like, you gonna act like Jasmine ain't in the apartment? But you see that she is starting to be indifferent with their relationship and thinking that, hey, maybe I can have Jasmine here and I can also have me a Bobby. Cake and eat it too. Okay. Now we call it bisexual. And then we also have her father, you know, that whole, I was like, didn't he have his situation in the hospital way years later and tried to sue her and you owe me money and I pay me money? Didn't that happen later? But it's like, we know we have it here. We're hitting certain cues of Whitney Houston's life and just putting them here, just like Tetris or some shit. I was like, okay. But you have him like pretty much with his dying breath, like, yeah, I need my cut. And you kind of have her walk away from her father in that moment to say, you know, if you're not here to support me like everybody else in the family, you clearly just want to take from me. I'm washing my hands with you. I don't owe you a damn thing. And you just kind of have her gear up for her stardom. I even love how we have our Clive Davis, Sharon Stone say, you know, hey, we're going to have you sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, even though we know in actuality when this show actually happened, Whitney Houston sung Home. I love to go and rewatch that video. But we haven't ended off with everything just kind of in limbo, and this is her preparing for her show and her first presentation out into the world before she becomes that grand big Whitney Houston that we know of. And you know, we even have Bobby Brown come in real quick, flirts right in front of Robyn's face, and you kind of have a little chip on your shoulder about it, like, ain't nobody give a damn about Robyn. You can just maybe get the gist of what Robyn had to endure in watching someone she loved more than anything in the world and wanted a relationship with form one with somebody else and still play the background. Like, we need the truth. We need everything spread out like mayo on a sandwich. Like, don't give us a little bit and not give us all of it. As far as the young Whitney years, child, we've had enough goddamn Whitney. It would be really interesting to get a real Whitney biopic, especially if we can go from beginning to end and we can just get some truths. Even to this day, her family is going to always put up this perception to make things what they weren't and tell half truths, so we're probably never going to get that. But we always got Beauty. Well, you guys, that was my review for Beauty. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about this film. I'm really interested to know, did you feel like they were doing a bit much exposing Whitney Houston? Did you like what you saw? Did you find any positivity in kind of Robyn and Whitney kind of getting their story, their moment out on display on Netflix? I would love to read and hear your comments. I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye.